Today I am dedicating the entire day to just recentering and really thinking about what it means to be myself. I've been getting a lot of advice from other people, like even just friends, to just be yourself and lean into who you actually are. And I feel like as someone who is still building my sense of self, that I have a really hard time answering that question. So I'm dedicating this whole day to activities and things where I can be myself and think about what it means to be myself. As you can see, I'm already in the car. I actually drove to the beach this morning and I think I'm gonna go swimming. I'm excited. Let's go down. That was really good. I feel so refreshed. Just like swimming in the ocean or like being in nature, like having a second to have peace and quiet is really, really helpful in like recentering and thinking about who I am. Like the number one thing to being yourself is like having spent enough time with yourself and enough time with yourself alone, because like I feel like when you're alone you don't have the pressure to be anyone else. When I'm kind of just like sitting there like playing with the sand or like staring at the ocean, I'm not trying to be anyone else. I'm not trying to be anything, and I feel like any expectation I have of myself is really going against that. Like if I expect myself to come up with something really profound and something that I learned to like share with you guys, I feel like that's not letting myself just like sit there and be and exist. When we get like really philosophical with like who we are and what our purpose is for everything, it starts to become this question of like, I feel like I need a bunch of answers. Like I need like 5 words to describe like exactly the type of person I am and want to be, or like this is my personality type, or whatever like you associate with. And I feel like while those are good answers and good tools for getting to know yourself, it also can backfire in the sense that you're not letting yourself be. And I feel like all those answers and that sense of self like comes to you when you're kind of just sitting alone or doing things without having any expectations about it. Guys, we ran the risk and it did not reward. I am low-key high-key parked in not a legal parking spot. I did end up getting a parking ticket. We're not gonna let it ruin the day. We're gonna go see Didi, which is something I've been wanting to watch for a little while now, so I'm really excited. The movie is starting really soon, so I'm gonna do a really quick makeup routine. One of the things I really underestimated in like the whole process of getting to know me and like being yourself is really like using your outward appearance to reflect like who you are. But I think going in deeper and really taking care of myself in the way that every single day I can like get ready and do a little makeup and look my best really affects my self-image. And I'm ready to go see the movie. So the movie was really good, actually. It like reminded me of our conversation today because it's kind of like this coming of age story of this boy who feels really ashamed about himself. And I feel like I relate to that so much, and that actually like stops me from being like who I really am at the time, because I'm really afraid of like what other people are going to see or how I'm going to be perceived by it. There was a scene, the guy, like, he's kind of at his low point, honestly. Like, he feels like he's lost all his friends and no one likes him, and he's really insecure about himself. And he tries to do things that make him seem cool. He thought that his friends and other people wanted him to act a certain way, when in reality, like, all anyone is asking you to do is to just really be who you are, and tuning into like the stuff I'm actually good at and how I actually am. Like, sure, I'm embarrassed by some of these things I say, and I'm embarrassed by the way that I talk sometimes. I feel really insecure about how I explain things because I feel like it takes me forever to get to the point. And even though those like things like I wish were better, they're things that are just me, and other people are just going to need to accept it. Since we're at the mall, I'm gonna go shopping and see if there's anything that I want to add to my wardrobe that'll make me feel extra confident and more myself. This week, I went and threw a lot of stuff out of my closet that like doesn't fit anymore. I had 2 dresses that I probably got like more than 5 years ago. And it's one of those things where I got it and they didn't like have my size and it's a little too small. And I was like, one day I'm just gonna lose the weight and I'll fit into it. But that never really happened. And I feel like it was hanging around as a constant reminder of like, this is what I could look like. I could fit this and I could be a different size and I could be this really cool person wearing this like really cute dress. And I feel like I let that go a little bit by giving it away. Overall, good movie, good stuff. Successful shopping trip. I just got this shirt, and I think it's pretty cute. It's just like a t-shirt, and I don't actually own very many t-shirts like that aren't graphic. Very happy with the purchase. I have all of these boxes behind me of like things that are kind of like old, like sentimental stuff. I have an entire family of Totoros, including like the little baby. I think I'm a person who is really attached to my past selves. Like, I can't see myself growing beyond who I was when I was younger, or like the insecurities that I've had when I was a teenager. And while those things are like parts of me, they aren't parts of current me. And I feel like I just have such a hard time like overcoming that realization of like I'm a different person. And I feel like I've just had so many phases of like really disliking myself and trying to be something that I'm not. But at some point, or at least for me, I started realizing I am who I've more or less always been. I feel like as people, it's sometimes really hard for us to remember the things we've accomplished for some reason. Like for someone like me who's really stuck in the past, like I forget there's a lot of things that I've done before that have made me really proud. Like for example, there was one day in college where I spoke in front of a bunch of people to announce something that me and my team were working on. And I feel like I'm myself the most when I just let myself be and I'm not scared of anything. Like, I just don't want to be ashamed of the things I like and the people who I spend time with. But I feel like to some extent those things have always been a secret. But I feel like the more that I get myself to appreciate who I am and who I'm becoming and not try to force myself to become something that I'm not, I feel like it really helps. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I found a letter that I wrote to myself from 2014. I think I wrote this when I was away at camp and we like wrote letters to our future selves. Wow, okay. At this conference, I felt excited to meet new people and share my ideas. I thought that it was really fun and that I could show myself better than at school. By the time I get to this letter, I would have liked to develop my personal brand. I want people to see me as a leader and a good person. Sincerely, me, with 3 exclamation marks. I feel like when you remove yourself from your normal environment, you get to learn a lot about yourself. Like, I feel like when I was away from home and away from school and away from the version of me that I was supposed to be being, I like learned a lot about myself. And I think that's what this letter like kind of expresses. We don't get a lot of time to reflect and just sit down and think about how we've grown and the people we are, and like enough time to give ourselves credit. I get so caught up in the ways that I'm not doing well. I get caught up in the things I haven't finished and everything that I'm struggling with and being frustrated with where I am at the moment. But I feel like there's so many things to remember, like where I really came from. And those are the things that when I focus on them, I feel like I can answer that question a lot better of like, who am I? I think that wraps it up. Thanks, Kim.